the week beginning the 5th of September 2016. This is both your love reading and your general forecast. The first card that comes up is the archetype for this week coming. And it's quite humorously communication, considering that Mercury has just gone retrograde. I had to have a bit of a laugh at this one. But really what this card speaks about is that communication this week has to be done with integrity and a certain degree of honesty. I often think that what Mercury really does is when it goes retrograde, the things we say and the things we deal with where communication are concerned, if our heart is not really in it, it tends to trip us up. I think that's where the story comes from as well, is if you're constantly sitting on your mobile phone or your cell phone and you should actually be attending to something else that's more important to you, your phone suddenly goes on the blink or your network goes on the blink. Or if you're saying something to someone, typing it out to them or sending them a text message, and basically it's not what you really want to be saying to them, you find the text message won't go or it doesn't ever arrive. So it's that thing of your heart and your soul and what you say, what you communicate, need to be one and the same thing this week. There needs to be a soul connection to what you say. You've got to communicate with integrity. If you do that this week, you will find you can navigate through Mercury's retrograde with ease. This is obviously the message coming through for us this week. Communicate with integrity. Communicate only when you need to. Stay away from the communication equipment just to keep yourself occupied, and Mercury retrograde will be just fine. Your challenges for this week, that first card that comes up is the Two of Swords in the traditional tarot deck, and that's always to me the heart versus the mind. This is when a decision crops up, and your heart wants to do one thing and your mind is telling you, but you can't do that, you've got to do another. Doreen Virtue's advice on this card is that you take other people out of the equation. In other words, what you feel guilty about or what you feel you should be doing for other people, take that out of the equation. Then relook at the decision making. And when you've relooked at it, when you've looked at it from that perspective, shall we say, then bring them back into the equation again and then see if it isn't easier to make that decision. It's never an easy one, because usually what it is the heart wants to do something that the mind is saying you can't do because there's other people involved. But there is a way through it. Just think about it a bit differently. Because the next card that comes up also speaks about being wide open to options, to different options this week. So I think if you give that decision a little bit of breathing space and you ask for guidance, you may be presented with different options, but you have to be open to those options. Then you're going to find that perhaps making this decision will be easier, or that perhaps a new option comes up to make that decision with. Where at the moment you seem to be in a stalemate, there may be a different option coming forward which you hadn't thought of before. Then your opportunities for this week. This is actually quite interesting. The way I read it is, and the way the message comes through is, you're going to be tempted and you're going to want to stay within your comfort zone this week. You're going to want to stay where you feel safe and secure. But if you venture out of that comfort zone, if you take a little bit more of an adventurous attitude and you move out of your home area, in other words, that comfort zone, that zone that you use every day of the week, if you step a little bit outside of it, there's somebody waiting for you there. Now, comfort zone and your area can be your normal restaurants, your normal coffee shops, your normal route to work, the normal people you see all the time, the normal actions you take. This week, step a little bit outside of that. Maybe take a different route, go to a different coffee shop, go to a different restaurant, shop at a different supermarket. A little bit away from your normal home circle of doing things. And that person waiting for you, this can be two different things. One, for those of you that have been looking for a romantic partner, this could be that person. And they're going to be receptive to you, because the whole ambience of this card, the whole message of this card is that that person is receptive to you. or it's going to be somebody that can help you with maybe even that decision that you're struggling with this week, or something that you want to launch, or some new idea you have. But this person is instrumental to you on more than just a practical level. There's sort of an emotional connection with them as well. So I'm thinking that whatever it is you're dealing with has an emotional aspect to it. So definitely, yes, there could be a romantic partner outside of your normal zone that you use every day. So it's worth doing it. Go and see there. Now, your love story for this week. That new love energy is definitely still hanging around. It's not surprising because Venus is in Libra at the moment. Then partnerships and love are definitely highlighted. That kind of energy is really first and foremost. And Jupiter's just moved into Libra too, so there's definitely an expansion in that area, in love and partnerships and relationships, all those Venus things. And it's suggesting with your love story this week that you may feel flirtatious, you may feel playful, and it's a good idea to follow that tack, to use that way of relating if you want love and are looking for love this week. Because there's definitely new love for those looking for it. Still hanging around that energy, you can find it, but keep your attitude light-hearted. You may even feel you want to be light-hearted in that area of your life, and it's a good idea to support it this week. For those of you in permanent and relationships and partnerships, if you keep that energy light-hearted, if you flirt with your partner, if you have a lovely playful picnic with them, if you have a playful game with them, you're going to find a surgence of new love. Love will resurge in your partnerships and relationships again. So it's a very nice week for that lovely energy hanging around. Your general story for this week is all Venus related once again. It starts off saying that you have gained much wisdom and experience over the last few years, and we have. The planetary alignments that we've all endured in the last 4 to 6, maybe even more years, has given us much wisdom. Yes, it has left us weary. Yes, it has left us tired. Yes, it has left us, a good deal of us, a little bit on the pessimistic side, if not more so. But you have gained immense wisdom. Now, the next card says, this whole partnership, love, romantic, wanting to collaborate, all these energies that I've been speaking about are now wanting you to, it's the come together card. So one, romantic partnerships and relationships are definitely going to have better aspects now, better chances, or have better chance of happening. But partnerships too, and even friendships, really, really good friendships, you're going to find a resurgence of that. But this card says you need to be open to it. So if one is walling off your heart because you're scared of getting hurt or disappointed or life's being too difficult, so you're pessimistic, you're not going to allow these energies to come toward you. They were going to just back off from you because your energy field will repel them. But they're there and they want to come to you. So make sure that you are open to this. Then the final card that comes up in your general story says you are going to need to commit to partnerships and relationships as well. So if someone comes to you on a romantic level, make sure that you are willing to commit to them. And the same in a partnership or a friendship. If you go in half-hearted with half your heart sort of walled off really and your enthusiasm, you're not going to get the full benefit of this partnership or this relationship or this friendship or whatever you're going into. Extend your hand fully as it is shown in this card and fully commit to experiencing this partnership or relationship that you're getting into. Only then will you be able to experience the full benefit of it. Now remember that Jupiter is in Libra. There we go, I got it for a year. So this does make those kind of things easier. It'll expand them. It'll be a really nice energy. So I'm sure that's why those messages are coming through this week. Now your guidance for this week, the first card speaks about the panda, and the panda says, spend time alone whenever you can to boost your self-esteem. This is important in that you don't want outside input all the time telling you what you are. Even if it's advertising, even if it's the news, even if it's perhaps some people that hang around you that don't have particularly well, let's say they have a tendency towards pessimism, so they see the darker side of life. They're all knocking away at your self-esteem on some level. So if you spend time alone, you get to sort of boost your self-esteem again. Is that message coming through? The next one says euphoria has a way of bringing the beauty back into life, the energy back into life. So what this is saying, when you do experience the good experiences, and you're going to this week, they are coming, enjoy them to the fullest, because you create this energy field around yourself that will then draw in more and more of that, and you get to see more and more of the beautiful things in life as well. But you need to enjoy them, you need to experience that energy field, and more comes in. Like attracts like in energies. We're often talking about that, aren't we? Because the final card says the challenge that you have is that probably this week's you're going to want to do something close to your heart. It's going to be very close to your heart, whatever it is. But you are going to, one, have people on the outside saying it's not possible for whatever reason. The economic climate's bad. It's not good for you. Look how terrible the world state is, yada, yada, yada. Your inner voice is going to be copying them. It always does. That inner critic's going to be saying, you can't do it, you're not able to, you don't have the money. Shut that all down, because this card says you can. You have the energy backing you this week. You have your guides backing you this week. You have spirit backing you this week. You can do it. Go for it. Okay, so if you would like a personal or private reading, and we can have a look at whatever this is that's so close to your heart, and how's the best way to go for it, and who it is that could be waiting for you if you're looking for a romantic partner, because there is somebody there. I can see that in this reading. Then you can contact me at theoracletimes@gmail.com or via the website. Both URLs are in the owl picture now. You'll also see at the beginning of this video I gave the option of you choosing your own cards, and for a nominal fee I will then read them for you. It's interactive, it's great fun. I'm doing quite a few of these readings and they're really enjoyable, and the people doing them are enjoying it just as much. Right, so that was your weekly reading for the 5th of September 2016. I do hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and listening.